Welcome back, and we continue to track all the developments from the Mumbai Session Court, where before a special PMLA court, Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut is all set to be presented after he was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday. He has already undergone a medical checkup, a routine protocol medical checkup at the JJ Hospital. ED is likely to seek a custody for custodial interrogation for the next 10 days. That's what their demand is. That's the arrest memo that CNN News 18 has exclusively accessed. Sometime a few minutes ago, we saw Uddhav Thackeray also meeting the family members of Mr. Sanjay Raut and expressing his solidarities. Those pictures are in the public domain now. My colleague Vinaya Deshpande with us on the broadcast, tracking all the details. Vinaya, legally and politically, this is going to be a very, very important case, keeping in mind that the allegations that the Enforcement Directorate, what they are probing against Mr. Sanjay Raut, are very, very serious in nature.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Anusha, the fact that this particular scam has been under the scanner for quite some time now. In fact, the Patrachal, which the ED claims is more than 1,000 crore rupees worth. It is 1,000 crore rupees worth. It is something that the ED says is a big scam. Right now, there are allegations of money laundering on Sanjay Raut, claiming that he is the beneficiary of the laundered money through that scheme of redevelopment, where that land parcel was to be developed and flats were to be allocated to those who were living in that chawl. So clearly serious allegations, clearly something that the ED says has strong evidence against Sanjay Raut. What is happening though is that this is an investigation that has been going on for months now, Anusha. The probe has been continuing. Summons were issued to Sanjay Raut several times. In fact, the recent two summons he had missed, but before that, he was questioned by the ED for 10 hours continuously in the same case. Yes. And so what is being asked is the timing about this specific arrest. And that has led to a lot of speculation politically and political mudslinging in the Maharashtra circles, because, at a time when everything that the ED had been doing, in fact, the family has claimed yesterday when the ED team reached, there was no new material that was procured, that was asked for, or the documents that they went through were also the kind of documents that had already been submitted. So while on one hand the family says that there's nothing fresh or new that has happened in the case, Sanjay Raut himself had said that he will present himself before the ED whenever the next date they give him after the parliamentary session. Then the fact that this was done at a specific time is something that is being questioned. The ED, on the other hand, continues to maintain that it has strong evidence against Sanjay Raut. Anusha.
Vinaya, let's also talk about the sort of statement Uddhav Thackeray has made through those images that we were speaking on just a few minutes ago, where he has met the family members, he has expressed solidarity. There was some confusion as well whether the Thackerays will come out all in support of Mr. Sanjay Raut or they'd like to maintain a safe distance. How do you see the posturing by the Thackeray family?
Well, Anusha, let me tell you, this is an extremely important posturing by Uddhav Thackeray, because since yesterday when the raid started, we had seen a very cautious approach by the Shiv Sena Supremo. We hadn't seen much happening in the Sena ranks either. Very few Shiv Sena leaders came out in support and spoke openly in support of Sanjay Raut. We had seen Arvind Sawant come out, speak in support. We had seen Priyanka Chaturvedi tweet about it. In fact, what was interesting yesterday was that more of Congress and NCP spoke about it than the Shiv Sena itself. Today, that seems to have changed. There was a protest by Shiv Sena in Aurangabad. There was a protest in Shiv Sena by Nashik. We have seen Aditya Thackeray during his Shiv Samvad Yatra speak about it. Uddhav Thackeray taking that extra effort to go to Sanjay Raut's family, meet him, speak to his old mother, hold hands, hold her hands and fold his hands in front of her. Extremely important signaling there by Uddhav Thackeray, showing that the Shiv Sena Supremo stand by Sanjay Raut, and in some sense this will help build the political narrative for the Shiv Sena, claiming that they are being victimized, that they are being targeted because they have refused to bend down. This is something Sanjay Raut had been saying since yesterday as well. So apart from the investigation aspect of it, politically it is likely to snowball into something much bigger, which may add to the sympathy factor for the Shiv Sena among its supporters.
As
Anusha.
much as about its legalities, this case is also so much about political posturing that Vinaya was pointing out. And after yesterday's reticence of Shiv Sena, now they have very openly come out in solidarity with Mr. Sanjay Raut. Harman Gomes is also joining us on the broadcast. Harman, tell us more about the kind of strategy Enforcement Directorate is likely to adopt before the court today. They are seeking a custodial interrogation or remand for 10 days.
Well, Anusha, in fact, as far as this case is concerned, the Enforcement Directorate believes that they have a watertight case because they have been, investigating this case for quite some time. I've also been looking into some of the scam, which was believed that the money that was laundered into properties as well as flats that have already been seized, as well as the unaccounted cash yesterday. From where exactly was this money coming in, and from and what was the source of it? That is something that the ED believes is the reason why Sanjay Raut was extremely evasive yesterday. And now we are given to understand is that the ED, because it believes it is a lengthy case, they would definitely want to seek at least 10 days custody of Sanjay Raut.
All right, 10 days custody of Sanjay Raut is what the Enforcement Directorate is going to seek. I'm going across back to my colleague Vinaya Deshpande, but before that, there's some more breaking news which is coming in. Let's take those developments. We're getting you the inside track and details of Sanjay Raut's strategy. The Sena MP will oppose the 10-day custody on the expected lines, claiming medical reasons and a heart problem. Now, many people argue that after the judgment of the Supreme Court, the grounds on which a bail can be sought at such a preliminary stage, because he's been arrested roughly less than 24 hours ago, is only a medical ground, because the ED under the PMLA Act has the authority and power to seek custodial interrogation, and that power is very, very wide. Vinaya Deshpande with us on the broadcast. Vinaya, decode that strategy for us.
Well, yes, as of now, sources close to the family of Sanjay Raut tell us that medical grounds will certainly be used. In fact, as we were standing at the court a few hours ago, the family members of Sanjay Raut were already on their way to JJ Hospital along with the medical documents of Sanjay Raut. Because remember, last year he had undergone a surgery about his heart, and he was also at that time advised rest. So that is something that the family is going to use the as a legal strategy in front of the court. We are also being told that Sanjay Raut legal team will oppose the 10-day custody that ED is likely to seek for Sanjay Raut, ostensibly on medical grounds, citing his age, citing the medical ailments that he has been facing, and also saying that he has been cooperating with the probe till now, showing how he had appeared in front of the ED before this as well, and how he had to miss summons because the session of the parliament was going on. So on one hand, it will be a strategy to show that he has been a law-abiding citizen who has abided by the summons that have been issued by the Enforcement Directorate from time to time, cooperating in the probe. On the other hand, custody will be opposed on medical grounds as well, is what sources close to Sanjay Raut tell me, and that is something we are slated to hear in the court in a while from now, Anusha.
In 5 to 10 minutes from now, less than 5 minutes, we should expect that hearing to begin. 2:45 p.m. is when we are expecting the court to resume. It's a special court at the Sessions Court in Mumbai, a PMLA court. These are specially designated courts. ED will seek a 10-day custody. The strategy of Mr. Sanjay Raut is he's going to oppose the custody, seek for a bail, assure that he's cooperating with the investigation, and also cite his medical health and grounds as one of the reasons why he should be granted bail in the first place. We'll continue tracking the story, slipping into a short break.